Hello, hello! So for today's video, I have a question for you. Have you ever been doing something that you're really excited about and it's hard for you, right? It's a struggle for you. And as you're doing it, you all of a sudden, you're like, actually, this isn't that big of a deal. I shouldn't celebrate it. It's not that important. I mean, this person did that. This person did it twice as quickly. This person did it better. That other person, blah, 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 blah. All these voices in your head. So I was on a run today and this happened and I caught myself and I was just like, oh my God, here we go again. So if you have ever experienced, these voices in our heads that tell us we're not enough, that we can't celebrate, we don't have something to share, we don't have something to be proud of because it's not good enough, then stay with me and let's go to the other side so we can learn more. Hello, beautiful people! I am back from an incredible 5 days with Brenner-Bouchard. He is a peak performance coach and he's, insanely talented marketer and all these things, and it's just been incredible and I just have all this energy and it's been great. So, I had so much energy this morning. I hadn't been able to work out and you guys know how I am about my workout, so I was like, okay, today we're working out. I'm gonna do my hardest run. And one of the things that I committed to, one of the commitments after going to this event, and it was great, he said, you have a 72-hour deadline, you have a 48-hour deadline, you have all of these deadlines, and I'm like, okay, got it, we're gonna do this. And so one of the things that he said is you need to be making videos every day. So if you guys are already on my Facebook and on my Instagram, make sure that you're on Facebook and Instagram because I'm gonna be doing videos every day. Anyway, so back to the story. So I get up and I'm super excited and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna go for a run. It's a gorgeous day. Sun is out. It's beautiful. It's like a crisp fall day. And I'm putting my shoes on and I'm ready and I'm dancing and I'm like, today's gonna be great. And I'm thinking of this video challenge and I thought, it would be pretty cool for me to share a little bit more about this journey because for me, just running it's everything, right? I feel so good after enduring it. And I was going to be doing my Marin run. Now, for anyone who knows the Berkeley area, Marin Avenue goes like this. It's about a mile and it's about 800 feet of elevation. And so when I want a really hard workout, that's where I go. And I just sprint up Marin. And I was running up Marin and I was thinking, I should share with people about this run. If you guys are on Instagram, you guys will see my updates that I did there. So I'm running up Marin and I'm exhausted and I got to a point where I couldn't keep running and I had to walk a little bit, right? And then I would run again and then I would walk and I would run again and my legs felt so tired and I could barely breathe. And then there was this little voice in my head that said, should you really share that you're running? I mean, you're not running the entire time. You're stopping. You're not really, Luz? You're not that good. I mean, anyone, I bet you if somebody else ran with you, they could run up this whole thing all by themselves, but you have to stop. And what is there to share about that? And I'm listening to these voices, and we all have these voices. I know it's not just me. So if you just thought she's weird, she's crazy, she's voice, that's the voice I'm talking about. So, these voices in our minds, and I'm running and I caught myself and I was just like, all right, hold on a second. Really, Luz? You're out here doing one of the hardest runs in the entire city for fun. Let's get that clear. And you're beating yourself up about it because you're not going hard enough. Because you stopped a few times while you were running up this hill that's basically I need to be Spider-Man. It's scale it. and you're telling yourself how you're not enough. And it was so funny, like when I had this moment, this realization, sort of like, you know, my life, so many moments flashed before my eyes. And I thought back to so many moments just this weekend. It took me back to this weekend where, you know, I hear myself and I'm just like, oh my God, really? Did I really say that? And these are the sorts of things that these are the sorts of things that I do, and maybe you do them too, where I'm like, loose. So we need to start being nicer to ourselves, right? So I'm sitting this weekend with a group of friends and we're talking about public speaking. There was this great session, all of yesterday was about public speaking and talking about, you know, sharing our story. And I hear myself, I think of like what I was saying. So I was sitting down with these group of people and Luz Gonzalez is sitting there and she's like, I don't have story to share, you know, cause like I've done these things, but I haven't slayed the dragon just yet. The dragon's still, like I'm still fighting. You guys know I like Harry Potter. So this is book 4. So this is where the Goblet of Fire, where, you know, Harry Potter is against the dragon. And he's like, you know, shaking his everything is shaking, and he somehow gets, he gets the broom, and now he's like, and there's a difference between the movie and the book, I'm talking about the book. And so he's like above the dragon. So this is the moment where the dragon is still alive. This is not the moment when he's gotten the egg. The dragon is still alive and chasing Harry Potter, right? So I'm sitting here at this table with these people and I'm like, well guys, the dragon isn't dead yet. I'm still in it. You know, my story's not good enough because, well, the dragon's alive. And here I am telling myself how all of my effort and all of the hard work and all of the hours, how, you know, they should just be discounted because I'm still in it. And you know, at the end of the day, we're always still in it. And yes, the dragon is still alive, guys. And what matters is not that you are in, what matters actually is that you're taking a step right. What mattered was that I was up early in the morning running up this crazy hill. What matters is that I took time to further my personal development and become like a better speaker, a better coach, and that I'm putting in the time. And so I hear myself talking about how, oh, you're not good enough just yet. And I wonder to what extent we all do that. You know, for you, when do you do that? What are the parts of your life when you discount yourself and you say, I shouldn't celebrate because, well, I'm not there yet, right? The dragon is still alive. I haven't slayed the dragon yet. And I just think that really robs us of everything we've been through, of all of the hard work we've put into things. And I think one of the worst things that can happen is when we have this sort of self-talk, it might actually keep us from taking the next step. One other thing that it reminded me of, you know, when I saw these sort of like flashes of things in my life, I thought about my 50-mile race. And there's another video where I talk about how I ran 50 miles. And, you know, I hear myself just even thinking these things and I'm thinking how silly. So what I thought was, Luz, well, you can't celebrate it that much because first of all, you had to come up with your own race. I mean, how silly is that? Okay, so your race was canceled, but you know, you came up with your own race because you wanted to finish this crazy thing. So it's not a legit thing to celebrate because you created it, like you made up this race. It's also not good enough because, you know, it took you 18 hours to finish the race. And yeah, you walked during the race. So can you really celebrate the fact that you finished this 50-mile race? Can you even call it a race if you walked during the race? These are my thoughts, guys. These are the things that I was thinking. And today as I was, you know, like huffing and puffing, I'm like running up Marin Avenue and I'm like, can't breathe. Like these thoughts are going to my head and I'm like, What in the world? Really, Luz Gonzalez? Really? Are you really going to downplay and undervalue the heart, the effort, the sweat and tears that have gone into your journey? Are you really going to stand before a group of people and tell them, I don't have a story to share? Right? It's not good enough. What I've done, it doesn't count. And that sucks that we do that I do that. And so I'm wondering, in your life, when do you stop yourself from continuing to take another step because you think that you're not good enough or the work that you're doing is not good enough? You know, maybe you're a mom and you think, well, you know, I'm taking care of the kids, right? I think of my sister and, you know, like I think of all of the moms and I think of moms and I'm like, you guys are superheroes. You know what it takes, how hard you have to work, right? Like, but you know, whoever you are, maybe you're like, well, I just have a 9 to 5 or well, this or that, you know, whatever it is. We so often, and you know, I'll speak for myself, I so often, and we, I think so often discount ourselves. We undervalue who we are and our dreams and our effort. And who does that help? No one. No one. The only thing that it does is it allows us to beat ourselves up. And as you guys have heard in my videos, and I will continue to say, you need to be your #1 cheerleader. And it's not always easy. And so I have 3 takeaways for us to, you know, when you're in that moment, when you are when you are belittling yourself and you're saying, well, yeah, I did that, but it's not good enough. Yeah, that was cool, but I can't share it with the world. I can't even celebrate it by myself. Like, of course, that's the #1 thing we should do. Like, you should celebrate yourself. You should be your #1 cheerleader. You should say, yes, I can, and yes, I will. So my 3 takeaways, and I wrote them down in my notebook so I make sure to remember. #1, acknowledge. I have my pen. Hello, I'm Luz Gonzalez. I have my notes here. Okay, #1, acknowledge that it's happening. And when these thoughts are happening, I think it can be so easy to beat yourself up. I know sometimes I go into that space, right? And this is why it needs to be a conscious practice of not allowing ourselves to go into that self-defeating, like, well, you're not good enough or you're doing it again space. So acknowledge it and know that these thoughts are coming from a place of, you know, these thoughts are trying to protect you. These thoughts are trying to take care of you. So you can acknowledge them, say like, yes, this is happening, and then say, hey, you know, thank you. Thank you for trying to take care of me. Thank you for trying to protect me. Thank you for, you know, caring about, but not today, not right now. I acknowledge you, and today is not the day for me to belittle myself, my effort, and my progress that I made. #2, you want to recognize and celebrate how far you've come. So you've acknowledged the voices, you have said, thank you. I know you're trying to serve a purpose. I know you're trying to protect me. And then you say, you know what I'm going to do at this moment right now is I'm going to celebrate and acknowledge the fact that I'm standing here right now, working as hard as I am. Regardless of who you are, where you are, you're doing it. You're taking one step after another. And that is all that matters. Even if you're standing still, you're just like, you're thinking like, I just want you to be taking action. And sometimes this fear of getting it wrong, this paralysis of perfection keeps us rooted to where we are. And that is absolutely the worst thing that we could do for ourselves, for our lives, for our progress, for our dreams. And so when you're in that moment, say, no. I remember what Lou said. #2, I am going to celebrate and recognize the progress that I have made. Just think of where you started and where you are right now. Think of and celebrate every little step you've taken, you know, so I'm like huffing, puffing running up the road, Marin Avenue, just thinking, you know what? I'm one of these crazy people who runs up this really hard hill. You know what? Rather than beating myself up because I walked a little bit, I'm gonna celebrate, I'm gonna dance in the street a little bit, I'm gonna be that weirdo. So I want you to recognize your progress and celebrate. And so with my clients, if you've ever been part of my programs, you know that one of my favorite celebration techniques is you gotta shake your butt. And this comes from, oh gosh, what's his name? I'm forgetting his name. Joseph McLennan. So he has this thing that's called Astitude. And I have implemented Astitude into my own life. And so whenever there's a celebration of anyone in my masterminds or my groups or my coaching, I say, shake your butt. So you're in the moment, you're like, nope, we're not gonna do this. You're like, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna shake my butt and I'm gonna celebrate how awesome I am and how cool I am. And you can give yourself a hug. So acknowledge and celebrate your progress. And número tres, number 3. So much of it is, yes, having a vision, having the clarity of where you're going. And point number 3 is you want to find the right strategy and continue to execute. So again, as your peak performance coach, I'm not just going to say, dream and it will come, just manifest it and it'll appear with magic fairies and unicorns and puppies. That's not my message here. What I am gonna say is, yes, you took an extra step. I'm so proud of you. Continue to take step after step and make sure that you're taking the right steps, right? Make sure you're learning from the right mentors. Make sure you are doing the research, you're doing the work, you're implementing the right strategies, and make sure that you don't get frozen, that you say, you know what? Yeah, sure, somebody's done it differently, but this is my own journey. And I know that to make progress towards my goals, my objectives, my dreams, these visions that I have for my life, the thing that I must do above all is take the next step. And I don't want you to just take the next step. I want you to be intelligent in taking the right step. So I am going to ask you to do the research, to prepare, and then to execute, take action on what needs to happen next. So number 1 was stop and acknowledge. Number 2 was celebrate and recognize your progress. And number 3 is do the research, prepare, and execute. Take action on what it is that you need to do next. And so share with me what it is that you are so proud to have done in your life. What are you proud of right now? What are you proud of where you were and where you are and where you're gonna continue to go? You know that of all people, I am gonna be the person that's gonna hold your vision, that's gonna hold your dreams, as big as they are, as uncomfortable as you might feel sharing them with the world. Share them with me, because I will hold space for your bigness. I will hold space for your brightness. I want you to be all that you are. I think we were all put here to explore and to become all that we have ever wanted to be. And so I see that for you. So excited for you. And make sure to subscribe to my channels. I'm on all the platforms. I am on Facebook, Luz C. Gonzalez. You can find my pages there. That's where we're gonna have awesome lives. So we're gonna do a live a day. Make sure to subscribe to YouTube. Make sure that you're on my Instagram. I'm putting some videos also on Instagram TV. So, and also make sure to go to my website where we're gonna be having more products, courses. There's a new course out right now. And again, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching or joining my masterminds, do let me know. So as always, make sure that you are taking the steps, you're being intentional, and you are living a life where your soul is on fire. So much love, and I will catch you guys next time.